All right, let's go. Let's get started. It's 3 o'clock. It is time. It is time to get to work with strength training, get the legs up, get the heart pumping. I am Ron. Welcome, everyone, to Pure Strength. We're going to get the arms and the legs, everything pointed forward. A little bigger with those arms. Swing them. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Make sure you're in alignment. Get that knee up as high as you can. Let's go into just a little bit of a run here, coming up off the balls of the feet. Bringing the heels, leaving them up in the air if you can, as fast as is comfortable for you. We're just getting warmed up. Hopefully by now you've done a few things during the day, though, that you get ready. You're ready to go into a little more aggressive exercise here. Get it up. We want to get that heart rate up. We want to get the blood flowing. Okay, that's enough blood flowing. Hands up overhead. Bring the knee up. Bring the arms down. Squeeze it all in the center. Push it back up. This is a crunch. In the core, you roll that hip up. Underneath, squeeze it as you bring the arms down. Bringing those shoulder blades down toward the hips, squeeze it. If you want, right here, bring it into a bounce. Arms down, popping up off the balls of the feet. Keep the heels up in the air, or some form of this if you would like. And down. A couple more. Arms up, right here. Going to put the butt back, keeping the shoulder blades back, squeezing them together, that keeps the chest out. Roll the hips, bring it back up, arms up overhead. Bring the arms down on the sides as you come down into a squat. Knees over the laces of the shoes, butt back, and push up through, bringing the arms up. This time, elbows right straight back, opening up the chest. So you're going to take them back, that diagonal pull down, keeping the shoulders up, and back up overhead. 2 more squats. We're going to go down into a good morning, rolling the hips, bringing the arms up overhead, roll the shoulder blades back. Now we're going to do 2 more because I lied before. Up, rotate the shoulders, hips stay forward. Arms stay in a straight line as you make that rotation, bring it back down. Weight stays in the ball of the foot to the heels, does not go into the toes. Roll it around and bring it back down. Forward lunges, just step it out. Come down, push off through the heel of that front leg, and then all the work in the back leg. Down, enough to bring that foot up, and step it back, nice and slow. Come down right here, push back up, and bring the foot in. Other side into that lunge. Take it right straight down, and push up. Stay in that stagger forward, arms out. Roll the shoulders forward, excuse me. And then pushing through that front leg, bringing the arms up overhead. Shoulder blades are back. They're back. They're way back there. Stretch. And back down. Going to go into a rotation right here over that front leg. Roll the shoulders. Bring it back. Step back. Other side. Into a forward lunge. Excuse me. Knee stays over the ankle. Bring the hands out front, rolling the shoulders toward the camera, toward your computer, forward. Whoop. Bring the shoulder blades back. And back down in front, through that rotation, through the shoulders, bring it around. And back to center, step it back, reverse lunge, down. Push through that front leg and bring it up. Take it down, roll the hips. Push up through the heel. Keep the weight out of the toes. All the work is done by that back chain, those big muscles in the back. Down. And push up. This time, step back. Stay right there. Arm up over the top into a side bend. Stretch it out. Deep breath in. Feel the rib cage stretch out just a little bit more. And back up, other side. Down. Coming out over that extended front leg. Roll it out, stretch all the way up the side. Keep the head on the inside of the upper arm so you're not crimping that neck. Bring it back down. Push up through that front leg. Whoo, that was good. Arms back. Small shoulder rolls. Keep the legs going as you're doing this. You want to get those little steps in there. Keep the heart rate up just a little bit. Palms up, palms down. And as big as you can go. Not too big. And take it back forward. Small moves around, up and down, and bring it Right there. Shake that out into a hip hinge. Legs apart. Toes forward, knees over the ankles, pushing the butt right straight back. Stretching out the hamstrings, stretching out the glutes. Push it back. Nice and slow, roll and come back up. One more time. Let's just concentrate on the hamstrings on this one. So we're going to start out with upper body strength exercises. Then we're going to go, starting out with lower body strength exercises, then going into upper body. And push the hips forward. Side lunge. Take it off. Both hands on one thigh. One leg straight. You're leaning into that front leg. Butt's back, knees over the ankle, and your shoulders are going right to the floor. Yep, that's what's happening. Push up through that stationary, or through that front leg. Other side, same thing. Coming right straight down toward the floor, pushing the butt back. And again, inner thighs, back of the thighs as you come up. Bring the toe up on the front leg, so going into a little bit of a stagger, like a heel dig here. Toe up, knee bent, and lean into it into a hip hinge again, pushing the butt back. Feeling the stretch in the calf muscles, lower body, lower half of the leg, in the back of the lower half of the leg. And up, other side. Stretching out those calf muscles. Down. Just kind of hold in there as they start to stretch a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Exhale, going down just a little deeper if you can. The muscles will stretch just a little bit more, but they're not going to hurt when you do it because you're taking your time. As they get a little more supple, you take a little more out of them. All right, arms out to the side. Back into that wide stance, butt back. We're just going to roll the shoulders, turn them around. Back hand pointing right straight out back, front hand out front. So you have those shoulders in a straight line as you come around. Reach back. Don't let the hips turn. Don't go with it. Go as far as you can where those hips stay right straight forward. Knees and toes, knees and toes. And bring it back up one more time each side. Down. And up. Other side. Rotating through the middle of the back. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Your coffee break. Up. Arms down. Hands right out front into an open book. We're going to keep a little bend in those elbows. One hand stays right out front. The other one comes around the side. Here's what you want to make sure of. You're not twisting as that other arm goes back. You're staying right out front. Stretches in the chest and the shoulders. As far back as you can get it. And then bring it up wherever as far back as you can get it is. Wherever that is. If you start to turn the torso, you run the risk of hurting the lower back. Plus, you're not getting any stretch out of anything. And bring it back in again. Arms down. That was warm up. We're going to go into some weightlifting stuff now. And we will start with lower body. Do a number of lower body exercises. Go through each one time. Get a heavier weight if you can. We aren't going to be doing upper and lower body at the same time. So we're just going to work these muscles, these big muscle groups, lower body. Hips, we're going to go into the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and down into the calves. So if you can use just a little bit more weight, speaking of which, I think I will. Go a little bit more. And then when I switch off to the upper body, I'll use a lighter weight there because I'm working heavily into the shoulders, don't have as much strength, don't have as big a muscle groups. All right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to show a progression here. So starting out, go into a stagger step. You want the knee over the ankle on the front leg. Back foot is parallel to the front, so not out to the side, in or out. This isn't a warrior, no yoga here. This is a no yoga zone. We're going to have the toes right straight forward. Keeping the back straight, we're going to go into a hip hinge from here. So it's down, pushing the butt right straight back, feeling the stretch through the thigh, the back of the thigh, and then pushing through that front leg to come back up again. So it's butt out, right straight up back, stopping when you get to the knees, and that's when you push the butt out even farther, keeping the knee over the ankle, and then driving through that front heel to bring yourself back up again. You ready? Here we go. This leg. Feet are parallel. Down we go. Push the butt out. Feel the stretch happening through the hamstrings and the glutes. Take it down. Take it slow. Don't have to go fast. Keep a little bend in the elbows. Most important thing, you do not roll the shoulders side to side or let yourself bend down toward the floor. This is all about how far can you push the butt back and bring it back in again. Back down. Push out. And back in. Let's switch legs. Switch legs, shall we? We'll go to the other side. Same exact exercise. Get yourself in the neutral position first. Knee over the ankle. Spine straight. Back of the head to the tailbone. A straight line. Coming down over that front foot by pushing the butt back. Out. Then drive through that heel. And back up again. Really concentrate. Close your eyes. Think about just that knee staying right over the ankle on that front leg and the butt going back. Stop when you feel his muscles stretch just a little bit and then drive into that heel, forcing the knee to stay above the ankle, using that front leg for everything. Back down. Great exercise. Everything above the knee going up into the hips and the glutes. Push. Back up. Taking your time. As long as you're hinging at that knee, not letting it go forward, keeping it where it is, you're bound to be in good form. Shoulder blades need to be back one more time. Down, butts back, and push up. So that is a modified single leg deadlift. We're going to be back. We're going to go back to that. But for right now we're going to go into a sumo squat. Toes out, heels in. Key on this one, butt goes right straight back as if you're sitting down. Pushing the butt back, shoulders stay back as you come down. Roll the hips forward, drive up, feet are flat on the floor. So it happens a lot of time because the knees are out. One of two things happens. Either the knees come in as you're coming back up, so they start to collapse inside, or you roll up on the outside of the foot as you push back up. Neither of those should happen. We want that alignment, knee toe in the same direction to strengthen those muscles up. So it's down, chest out, roll the hip, push right straight up. Feel the muscles working on the inner thigh and the groin muscles. As you push up, squeezing the glutes. So when you get to the top, you're rolling that hip up and then back down again. Shoulders stay back, roll it, and right straight up. Because I am bow-legged, my legs always want to roll to the outside. Some people have it where they roll to the inside. Really concentrate on keeping that foot flat on the ground. Ball the foot to the heel. Down, inside, and out to outside. Push it up. Take your time. Squeeze those glutes. You should feel this upper legs, back of the upper legs, as well as in the butt. Back down, inner thighs. Roll forward. Push right straight up. One more time. Take it down. Roll and drive up. Should be a little fatigued in there. Feeling it just a little bit. Shake the legs out a little bit. All right, here we go. Single leg deadlift. So we're going to go back to that stagger step. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. But this time, as you go down, if you can, this is strictly, if you're able to do this, coming down, shoulders back, lift that back leg up and step it in. So it's out into that hip hinge, get down to about the knee height, bring that back leg up, and then push through the heel on the front leg. The work being done in the hamstrings and the glutes on that front leg is much more intense than the other way we did it. If you can't lift that leg up and hold your balance, just keep the foot on the floor like we did the first time. Ready? Here we go. Down, knees over the ankle. Stop, push the butt out, lift that back leg, and step it in. You're going to feel a lot more action happening, keeping that knee straight, keeping you over that single leg base of support. Step back, butt out, come down, then lift the leg, and then bring it in, stepping in. 2 more, back, hip hinge, up, and in, last one, out. Find your balance, get set right here. That front foot is flat on the ground, then lift the back leg, and then push through the heel of that front foot, not through the toes. Other side. We're going to do the same exact thing. On the other side. Knee over ankle, feet parallel, shoulder blades back, chest out. Here we go. Pushing the butt back as far as you can get it. Back leg comes up. Whoa. And first one's always the hardest. Back out. I say that, and then I usually say, and so's the second one. Leg up, push, and in. So again, if this does not work for you, if you're spending all your time trying to maintain your balance, go back to just the leg back going into a hip hinge. One thing you can do, another modification on this one, is when you're back here, just lift the back foot up and then put it back down again. Kind of doing the same thing. And up, down, still forcing that front leg to do all the work, but a little less. And up one more time. Out, down, lift, and push up. Another thing that makes this really hard is if you're using too much weight for the dumbbells. If you have a lot of weight there, it's a lot harder to maintain your balance. It's more effort, can be more effective if you can maintain your form. All right, next, calf raises. Hang on a second. We're going to do this right here. Watch what we're going on. What's going on? We're bringing the heel up. Weight is in the ball of the foot, all the way across, making sure you can feel the floor under the knuckle of the great toe and the little toe. Up and back down. Again, I'm bow-legged. I roll out to the outside. I really have to work those inner thighs to bring them in to keep that balance, that alignment all the way through the ankles, knees, and hips. Okay, right straight up. Up to the top. Hold it. And back down. Roll the hips forward. Come right straight up. Keep the knees bent just a little bit as you do this. Make those muscles work back there. And then down nice and slow. Up. Whoa. So one thing you can do to make this a little more intense is not let the heels touch the floor. You come up, you squeeze. They feel like they're going to start to cramp up. You relax just for a second and then go back up again. Weight in the toes only to keep you from falling forward. You are putting all of that pressure into the ball of the foot. 5 seconds left. Up. So I'm not saying go up, go down. You kind of do it for yourself so that you can feel those muscles working in the back of the lower legs, those calf muscles. And bring it back down. You ready? One more of those hip hinge. Let's try this again. Of those single leg deadlifts. This time, feet together. This one's a little tougher. Quite a bit, actually. You're going to go foot back as you go into that forward lunge or into that hip hinge, and then coming back in, tuck the knee, foot back down. So the next step of this is you never let that foot touch the ground. That's a tough one. But so here we go. So we're going to have the feet side by side up on the ball of the foot on the one foot, and then the other foot flat on the floor. As you lean forward, leg comes up, hold, and then coming forward, knee up and back down. If that is too much, just do the step back, hip hinge, roll through that front leg, bringing the knee up and back down. So what you're getting rid of is this foot up as you go down. That's probably the hardest piece right there. And back up again and knee up. 10 seconds of this left yet. Stepping back, up. So again, this is giving you the option, whichever one is the right one for you. I'm spending way too much time trying to balance here. I'm not getting enough work out of that stationary leg, so I'm going to the modified. I'm stepping back, then bringing the foot up. And like that. Other side, same thing. And for me, different days are different. Some days I can do that single leg deadlift no problem using heavier weight. Today's not one of those days. My legs are tired. So I'm not getting the same effectiveness out of it. So I'm just going to step back, hinge at the hip, bring that foot up, knee up, and back down. Because if I'm spending all my time trying to balance, I am not getting those muscles in the hamstrings and the glutes. Down and back up and bring it down. So because my right leg is my stronger leg, I'm able to do it on one side, not the other. I don't want to do that. I want the balance between the two legs. So because I had to do it with the left leg, I'm going to do it with the right leg too. Step back, leg up, and back down. Step back. When one leg is stronger than the other, 10 seconds. When one leg is stronger than the other, if you keep using it more, you're just going to increase that imbalance, and that puts a lot of stress on the joints. Bring it up, back down, weights down, because the stronger side will take over. It's where that compensatory pains that you get, where one side is strong, the other side's weak. Strong side tightens up, weak side loosens up. You start walking at an angle, hips will be off to the side. Same with arms. You're lifting more with one side than the other. And the more you do that, the worse it gets. So that's why, even though I could do it on one side, not the other, I don't do it that way. All right. Lower body again. Take a second here, shake the legs out. We are going into a squat. Again, heavier weights. If you so choose, if it is right for you, if you have them. If not, the other thing you can always do is just tighten those muscles up. Doing that contraction, isometric exercises, making those muscles tighter as you do the exercise. It's like if you had an elephant on your shoulders and you're trying to lift and push up. That's what you want to feel like. It doesn't have to be an elephant. And up. Back up. And so just tighten those muscles up. Feel like you've got something heavy working there. You don't have to use heavier weights. All right, first thing we're going to do is just a squat and hold. So feet a little wider than shoulder width apart. Out wide. We're going to go down, bring the weights up, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back up again. If you are ready, tell you what, if you're using heavier weights, I just put the upper body into it. My bad. We're just going to do the squat. Sorry. Down, roll the hips, and push up. I have to change this. What we're going to add to this is we're going to bring the heels up. When we're at the bottom, back down, and then roll up, making sure you don't go into the toes. So when you're down in that squat, knees are over the laces of the shoes, bring the heels up. If you can't do it, do one and then the other, and then come up. You're going to feel a lot more work in the quadriceps. Much more intense. All right, you ready? Down in that squat. Feet shoulder width apart, butt back coming down. Raise those heels if you can. Stay up there for a count. And then push up through the balls of the feet, bringing the heels to the floor and back down. Again, if that doesn't work for you, it is heel up, and then push up, coming to standing. Down, butt right straight back. Knees over the laces of the shoes. Don't let the ankles curve at all. Roll out to the outside. You want that alignment. Toe, knee, ankles, up with the heels. Drive up, bringing them to the floor. Back down on the balls of the feet, flat on the floor, and push up. Hips forward, squeeze the glutes. 2 more times. Down. What you may want to experiment with here is, can you do this keeping the heels up? Give it a try. Back down. A lot more balance is required. A lot more leg strength is needed. To get through that, we're done. Don't do that one again. That is way too hard. All right. Next one we're going to do is a reverse lunge. Stepping back and up. We're going to do one side at a time. I want you to focus on step back. Come down, a little bit of a hip hinge as you bring that knee down. Front knee stays over the ankle though. When you come forward, don't put the weight into the toes. You're coming down with a hip hinge and then pushing through that front leg and up. So we're going to stay on that one leg, really concentrating on using that front leg to bring us up. Drive it and step up. You ready? Back. Coming down. Back knee goes toward the floor. Push up through that front leg and over. Really be careful on this one. not letting that front knee go forward. Coming down, back knee bends, push up and up. So if you go back farther, you can do that, but it's a little more work coming back up. I want you to make sure that you can get back up slowly and feel the quadriceps and the hamstrings working. So you may want to go with a narrower set, step back and push up, and then get a little lower. One more time. Back, push, and up. Other side. Well, there's getting a workout here. 5 more seconds. Shake it out a little bit. Those muscles loosen up. All right, other leg back. Here we go. Step it back. Down, a little bit of a hip hinge forward. Push through that front leg. I pull the toes up off the floor completely. Otherwise, I have this tendency to go forward into the toes. And remember, anytime you do that, you're driving up through the center of the front of that knee, causing pain in that meniscus. Down, push, and up. Step back. See if you can get just a little bit deeper. It doesn't have to be very low. It's whatever's right for you. But really feel that single leg working as you push back up again. So down and up. The other thing, make sure the knee and toe are straight. One thing a lot of people do will pull that front foot at an angle because there's more balance that way. Don't do that. That's really hard on that knee joint. One more time. Down, pull up, push up, and down. I'm breathing hard here. Calf raises, toes out. So we've done these before. We're just doing it with a different set of muscles. We're still using the calf muscles to lift the heels up, but you're going to feel it more to the inside on this one. Toes are out, keeping the shoulder blades back, knees bent all the way through this. What's really important on this one is, 1, don't lock the knees out as you come up. And 2, keep your body underneath, hips right underneath the torso, pushing up, lifting, and then back down again. All right, here we go. Toes out and lift. And back down. Knees stay right over the ankles again. Don't let the knees collapse coming in. You want that ball of the foot flat on the floor. Squeeze the glutes as you get to the top. And back down if you can. Try to do it without the heels touching the floor. Back down, roll, bring it up. Squeeze it. And back down. Find your balance before you come back up again. When you get to the top, same thing. Ball of the foot all the way across. Weight's going into the ball of the foot, but man, you're using those toes to keep you balanced. Pushing down on that great toe to get the feet back out again, or vice versa. Down. Roll the hips. Come on up. One more time. Take it down. Roll. And back up. Squeeze it. Whew. Shake that out. We're done with that. Set the weights down. We're going to upper body. We have a couple sets of upper body we're going to do before we get to the floor. We're going to give the legs a break from here on out. Mine are screaming for a break. I'm like, cut it out. That's too hard. So again, no upper lower body together. This would be strictly be upper body strength. So again, the advantage of doing just upper, just lower is that you can concentrate on specific muscles using the heaviest weight possible. When using those bigger muscles in the legs, you can use a heavier weight. Arms, lighter weight, protect the joints, but still get the effectiveness out of it. When you do a combo exercise, if you're going to use the arms at the same time, you're going to use a lighter weight so you can do the arm exercises. So you're not using the lower body as much, but the core works a lot harder on combo exercises to maintain your balance when you're working upper and lower body. All right, first thing we're going to do is Arnold press. Palms back, shoulder blades back. Anytime you do a shoulder press, make sure that you have those shoulder blades back. You're bringing the weights up just in front of the head, so a little bit forward, and then back down again. Arnold press is palms back to palms forward, working those deltoids around the shoulder socket as you do the exercise pushing through. So we should work all 3 muscles around the shoulder socket. You ready? Bring it up around that joint. Up and back down again. Here again, only go up. If one arm only goes up partially, then the other arm should only go up that high as well, and bring it back down. Unless you have an impingement in one arm. Then if it will never go higher, you could never get it stronger than that because it just doesn't have the flexibility. Excuse me. Then you can take the other arm out a little bit more. But still, try not to overdo it with one arm over the other one. Up. And back. 10 seconds. Overhead, weights in the ball of the foot to the heel. Don't let it go into the toes as you're doing this. Excuse me. Real easy to lean forward. Keep the shoulder blades back. One more time. Up. Hold. And back down. Again. We're going to go to the shoulder blades this time. So going into a skier stance, knees have a little bend in them, butt out. Just trying to get the back as flat as you can down there. Knees are really pretty much stay over the ankles. All we're going to do is roll the shoulder blades together and relax them. So the elbows are bent, but we're not going to hinge there. This is just squeeze. So a row is bringing the elbows back as far as you can and going down. The scapular retraction is just bringing the shoulder blades together, using those rhomboids and trapezoids between the shoulder blades, contract to bring the shoulder blades together, and then back down again. So that's what we're doing. We've started up and back down. So wherever you're at, make sure that you have that slope down your back, straight line, back of the head to the tailbone. Don't let yourself roll forward. Get that curve in the lower part of the back and down. It doesn't matter how deep you are. Just make sure you're taking those shoulder blades and squeezing them together from however much of a bend over you've got. Up and back down. That's those little garden things with the woman or man who is bending over. Aren't those called bendovers? Up and back down. One more time. Shoulder blades together and back down. All right. We did the shoulders. We did the upper back. Biceps, front of the upper arms. Palms forward, shoulder blades back, chest is out. Again, we don't want to pinch the front of that shoulder. So the whole time you stay in that neutral position, little bend in the knees, elbows next to the torso, arc it up, stop 3/4 of the way up. Stop at that point in time as you're coming up. You're feeling these biceps work in the front of the arms as you come up. You get to that point, that tipping point where all of a sudden you don't feel those biceps working anymore. You've gone too far. Back off just a little bit and back down, keeping the shoulder blades back. Up, elbows forward. If you can, keep the elbows away from the torso an inch. Just don't let them press against it. Make the arms do the work. Shoulders and biceps to hold that arm out front as you do that curl. Down and bring it up. If you take your time, you should be feeling this in the front of the upper arms. This biceps should be engaged by now if you're giving it as much effort as you can. Keeping that form. Down and back up. 2 more times. One more time. Bring it up. Hold and back down. Again. Triceps. Working our way around. Going into a stagger step. Hip hinge, knee stays over the ankle on that front leg. Elbows back as far as they'll go. Roll those shoulder blades back. So I have a really hard time on this one. I have this tendency to bring my head down looking at the floor. I don't want to do that. I want to run the shoulder blades back, bringing that spine into neutral so I'm looking diagonally in front of me. All right, and then it's out. Squeeze those muscles in the back of the upper arm and down. Again, pretend you have 3 times as much weight there, but you hold it, keeping those muscles tight, and then bring it back again. So it's out. As you're doing this, see if you can kick the butt out just a little bit more, where gravity becomes more of a help for you, making this exercise just a little more effective. Out. It's not harder, never harder. And back in, more effective. Out. Weights in that front foot, ball of the foot, heavy in the back half of the foot. Out. And back in, go slow. Don't go all the way forward and let your arms hang. Again, Feel the muscles working in the back of the upper arms, those triceps. Release. The minute you don't feel those arms working anywhere near as hard as they were, stop and go back up. So just taking a short break, 5 seconds. One more time. Out, back in, and down. All right. So our 1 hour exercises, if you keep that range of motion smaller, keeping those muscles under pressure, you're getting so much more workout than another hour exercise where you're just kind of flopping around. Focus on the muscles, tense them up, make it harder. All right, next one. Going to go back to the shoulders. Arms out in front. It's in, narrow row, and out. Palms down, elbows together, squeeze the shoulder blades, back to the middle. So it's a rotating narrow row, or a rotating row, and then palms up and bring it in. What we're doing is we're working our way down that shoulder blade. All these muscles that run from the bottom of the shoulder blade to the top, this rotation's hitting all of them. So if you're ready, arms out, shoulder blades back, stagger step, squeeze the shoulder blades together, palms up, rotate as you come out, working those deltoids around the shoulder as well, back to palms facing, bring them in. Weights should be parallel to the torso. Palms down, elbows back as far as you can get them. Squeeze them back there. Hold for a count. Back forward, rotating. Palms in, squeeze it. Out and rotating. Control that movement. You want to work those fine motor muscles that you are controlling when that arm is moving as it's going out. So you're doing two things at once, extending and rotating at the same time. Works the muscles harder, works the brain too. Up, squeeze, and out. These are the kind of things that improve your reaction time. Out and in one more time. Palms down, bring it back, and relax. Felt that in the lower body when I was in that stagger step. You can feel it as you're pushing up through that heel, especially because we fatigue those muscles earlier in the class. Hammer curl, palms facing. Inward, same thing we did before. It's just right up and back down again. Elbows forward on this one. This one, usually you might be able to use a little more weight if you've got a small or a little heavier weight. If not, another way you can do this is pulse it right in the middle, keeping the elbows almost at 90 all the way through. This one's a little easier because your arm's in neutral. Then the biceps curl where the palm is up. So let's go. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. You can either do this little pulse right in the middle, feeling those muscles work all the way through, front of the upper arm, get the elbows forward, shoulders back. So if you roll the shoulders and the arms out, you're not getting it. You got to get those arms away, keeping those shoulder blades back and elbows at 90. Up and back down. We're so close. 10 seconds. Up and back down. Last one. Up and drop them back down. Couple more. We're going to do shoulders back to them. Little bend in the elbows. Bring the arms up on the sides. Shoulder blades are back. This one's really important. If you roll the arms forward, the elbows like to come in. You're arcing the elbows right up. Same plane as the torso and back down. So that means you have to keep the shoulder blades back and the chest open. Up and back down. We're going to throw a front raise on with this one. So we're going to go up to the top. Hold right there. Keeping the shoulder blades back. Roll the arms forward and bring them down. Don't bring the shoulders up to the ears. And when you go forward, don't let the chin come to the chest. If you can't lift that weight with nothing moving but the shoulders, you've got too much weight. Either drop weight or just go with no weight and tighten those muscles up. Contract them using that isometric hold where you contract the muscles all the way through like you were carrying big weights. Up, out, and down. If your shoulders are starting to get tired as you're doing this, bend the elbows just a little bit more. Bring that weight closer to the body. 10 seconds left. Up. Knees are bent. Out. And down. You are done. You will need your weights on the floor. We have not done the chest yet. Put your weights down on the floor. Get your mat if you're going to use a mat. And don't forget to hydrate before you go down on the floor. It's an important thing. Water is a key ingredient. Just relax a little bit. Take your time. Just kind of shake your body out before you get down there. And if you want, you can do a little bit of this, stretching out the arms, shoulders, hips, legs, giving yourself just a little bit of relaxation time before you hit the floor and start into it again. So we worked the muscles hard for 40 minutes already. When you keep them under tension that entire time, it's a whole different experience. So they do get fatigued, and you need to take just a little bit of a break as you go from that transition time. Arms out to the side, knees up, looking right up at the ceiling. First thing we're going to do is just bring the arms up over the chest, right straight up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders up and back down. So all you're doing is taking and rolling the shoulders toward the ceiling. So you're reaching up, straight up, stretching that upper back out, stretching the shoulders, and back down. Palms facing. We're going to come all the way out to the sides. Back of the hands on the floor. Use the feet on the floor to hold you even so that you're not rotating. We're going to take that right arm first, bring it up and over, a little bend in the elbow so it is coming all the way across the chest, reaching out to the left side as far as it'll go. Take a deep breath, exhale. Feel a little bit of stretch there. And then lift that arm up, back over to the other side. We're going to do the same with the left arm. Back of the right hand is on the floor. Left arm comes up across the chest, reaching as far as you can. Just let it drop. Let gravity do the work here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. So don't rotate the torso at all. You want to keep those feet flat on the floor, not letting anything move but that shoulder. And then bring it back to the side. We're going to just take the back of the hands and just walk them up so that they're still on the floor, but over the head. Feel the stretch all the way through the shoulders and the arms. Palms up toward the ceiling. Deep breath in. Now we're going to sweep the arms down in a snow angel, going alongside the torso. And grab onto the back of the thighs. And just lift the torso or the legs up off the floor. Deep breath in. Stretch out the lower back. Drop the legs back down again. Use the hands. Protect the back. And then sweep the arms back up overhead again. Again, hands are right along the floor. Do a floor slide all the way up. And relax. It's time. Grab your weights. We're going to go back to the chest, back to the strength. Feet stay on the floor. Stay in a crook position in this one. So with the hands, a little bend in the elbows. Keep the hands over the shoulders. Palms toward the feet. Start out by just rolling that lower back down to the floor. And then release. So squeezing those lower abs. Straightening out that spine. Getting it down on the floor. Stabilizing it by the floor, or if you've put something under your back. Like we talked about before, you want to put something under there. Whatever you do, you want that lower back against something. Just to stabilize so it doesn't twist from side to side. Release one more time. Squeeze. Squeeze those core muscles. Bring that back. And relax. All right. Now, keeping that in mind, keeping the lower back on the floor, we're going to go into a chest press, bringing the arms out to the side. So the palms are facing toward the feet. Elbows flare out, going to a 90. You create this goalpost. Weights are parallel, weights are at mid-chest. There we go. At the sternum level. So mid-torso. That's what I'm trying to say with no success. Bring it back out to the outside. Don't let the elbows touch the floor. When you get down where the upper arm is parallel with the floor, the elbow should be at 90. And then start to straighten them out. Roll the chest together, bringing those shoulders up off the floor toward the ceiling. like we did in the stretch, and then back down. Take your time with this. Hold at the outside, bring it up. If this is hurting your shoulders, palms should be facing each other. And then just bring the elbows right down next to the torso and then back up again. So we're putting the shoulder in a neutral position, less stress on it. Whichever works for you. Out and up, squeeze the chest, roll the shoulders up off the floor one last time, down. And back up. So when you get to the top, the weights don't touch. You're using your muscles to keep those weights from touching. You stop the momentum, not the weights. And the other thing you're doing is you're rolling those shoulders up. All right, we're going to go into a single arm or a single weight. Pull over. So again, keeping the lower back on the floor. This time I want you to take and just let the weight drop, keeping that lower back on the floor until your hands and the weight are on the floor. Start right there and just bring the shoulder blades down toward the hips. Nothing more. Just let those hands slide on the floor. Roll the shoulder blades down. You're going to feel the muscles in the upper back, outside, on the outside of the shoulder blades do the work. Tightening up and then release, and the shoulders will go back up. Bring them back down toward the hips and back out again. So what's really important on this one is when you do this exercise, you have those muscles in the upper back contracted and then lift the weight up. So you want to feel this heavily on the back of the shoulders going up through the upper back on the outside of the shoulder blades. Weight stops over the head, a little bend in the elbows, and then let it go back down again. Keep those shoulder blades tight. Down toward the hips. Stop before the weight hits the floor. Stay right there, and then bring it back up again. You don't need a lot of weight for this one. You do not need to put a lot of stress on those shoulders. If you make sure those shoulder blades are down as deep as you can get them toward the hips, you're going to feel all the muscles activate that you need. Squeeze. You're going to feel the chest involved, lower abs for the keeping that back flat on the floor, and those lats on the outside of the upper back, giving you that Cobra V, big wide upper back. Bring it up, hold, and back down one more time. Up. Stop right there over the chest. We're going to keep that single weight. It is up over the shoulders now, a little bend in the elbows. So we're going to do a crunch, which means getting that lower back on the floor first. So squeeze those lower abs, dropping that lower back down to whatever you've got underneath it for stability. And then exhale, bringing those shoulders up off the floor, releasing some of the tension with the weight right over the shoulders and back down. Remember, as you bring the chest up toward the ceiling, exhale, squeeze those muscles, belly button to the rib cage, and especially right up near the rib cage. So really getting in the top half of that muscle that runs from the top to the bottom of the core. And back down. It's contracting to bring the rib cage up off the floor. Exhale. Hold it up and bring it back down. The more you tighten up on the top half, the more that lower back should go down on the floor. Squeeze and bring it back down. Two more. And back down. So again, you can do this more with more weight. You don't necessarily need it. Up. If you contract those muscles right, you're going to protect the back completely. Relax. Set that weight down. We're done with that. We're going to go to the lower body. Shake it out. Reach behind the thighs. Knees over the hips. Knees at 90. We're going to alternate. Tightening up those hamstrings. Tightening up the quadru. Yes. Oh my gosh. The thighs. Front of the thighs. Quadriceps. And back down. So alternating. The knee that is stationary. Stays at 90 degrees, so you're working those quads all the way through this. Up. Extend as high as you can get. And bring it back down. Other side. Up. And back down. One more time each side. Up. And down. And you're there. Drop the legs, feet down to the floor. Knees are at 90. We're going to pick it up and tuck one knee in at a time. So it becomes a march. Knee stays at 90. Right foot up. Back on the floor. Left foot up. Squeeze the front of that hip. Get that knee up as much as you can. Thigh toward the torso. Feel the lower back come up off the floor. The tailbone. Lower back lengthens out. What you're going to feel is that hip roll up and then release. Tight. And back down. We're going to put those two together. Bring the legs up. Hold on to the back of the thighs if you need to. If not, hands out to the side so you're in a tabletop. Knees are at 90. We're going to take 1 foot at a time. Down and back up. So we're idling in the tabletop. If you need to, grab onto the back of the legs and then release. Right hand out. Right leg goes down. Grab onto the thigh of that right side. And then the left side does the same thing. So you're helping a little bit. The quads are still having to work to keep that knee at 90. Up, down, and up. Drop it out. Extend the legs all the way out. Arms up overhead, toes out all the way out. You're in the rack. Stretch out. Deep breath in and relax. Right leg, grab onto the back of the thigh. Fingers intertwined behind the thigh. Extend at the knee, bringing the toe down toward the torso. You're looking for that stretch in the calf muscle. Below the knee to the heel. Take some deep breaths in here. Inhale, exhale. As you exhale, see if you can get just a little more stretch. Lengthen out the knee just a little bit. And relax. Hands on the back of the thigh yet. Staying with that right leg. Extend at the knee, relaxing the foot. And then bringing the thigh in toward the torso with a little bend in the knee. Move that knee around. Lengthen it out until you feel the muscles only above the knee to the butt. We're looking for the hamstrings only. If you feel it in the lower half of the leg, relax the toe. If you feel it in the back of the knee, relax the knee a little bit. And down, other side, same thing. Grab onto the back of the thigh. Extend at the knee, toe down, feel the stretch in the calf muscles. Those are really tight on me. So we did those heel lifts, 3 different kinds. So you really should need to stretch out those calf muscles. And then relax that. Now grab that thigh, bring it in toward the torso. Those, we're stretching out the hamstrings, really important because we did those reverse lunges and those single leg deadlifts, which all went into the glutes and the hamstrings. So make sure you get those stretched out. Relax. Let the feet down. Come on up into seated. My cat seems to have been active while I was stretching. Roll the shoulder blades back. I heard him making all sorts of noises. Shoulder blades back, chest is out, hand on the outside of the knee, opposite knee. Before you start to rotate, get those shoulders back. I always do this to make sure, because if I don't, I'm going to hurt my lower back every time. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, looking right straight out in front of you, and then rotate. Bring that neck around just a little bit farther, looking out over the shoulder. Get some good stretch through the neck as well. And then bring it back to center. Other side. For me, right hand is back in a kickstand. Palm of the hand doing the work to hold me up. Left hand on the outside of the right knee. And then taking that right shoulder and rolling it back. Chest out. Back is in neutral. Take that front hand, push on the knee just a little bit so that that knee doesn't drop out. Around. Back in. We should stand up. Get our stuff out of the way. Get a drink of water. Pick up our toys before we're done playing. Look out. Look out, kitty cat. So as always, I really appreciate everyone being here. I love this strength class. I get a lot out of it. And I like making sure that you can do that strength. Keeping those muscles dense, keeping them strong as you get older is so important for everything. Protects the bones, it protects the joints. The stronger the muscles are, the more they work as a shock absorber. Anytime if you do fall down, but it also keeps you upright. Falls prevention. All right, butt back, out. And here's the biggest thing for me. The longer you can stay strong, the more you can be independent, the more you can stay active. And really, those are the two keys. Shoulder blades back. For me, to lose my independence, to lose that strength to be able to be active, if I were to lose that, that's just everything. Reach out, roll the hips, and push up, because that makes everything else possible, whatever it is. If you can stay active, you can do what you want. Going to make you happy. One more time. Out, hands down on the thigh. Stretch the butt out, getting those hamstrings one more time, but this time we're getting the inner thigh as well. Push up, out on the other side, same thing. And drive, right straight, back up again. Shake that out. Hands behind the back. Palms up, roll the shoulder blades back. Stretching out the chest. We hadn't gotten there yet. Deep breath in, pushing the stomach out. Exhale, hands up overhead. Fingers intertwined, palms right straight up. A little bend in those knees. And bring it down. Deep breath in, stretching out the lungs, getting those that rib cage to open up. Other side, same thing. Remember, you need to keep those muscles strong for the inhale muscles and the exhale muscles, so you can breathe deeper, so you can get more oxygen into your lungs, so you can get it in the bloodstream. And bring the arms down. Shake that out. We work the shoulders, so let's loosen them up. Reach overhead at a diagonal and bring it back other side. Pivot that back foot. Heel up, pivoting off the ball of the foot so that you're rotating that leg within the hip socket. Up. Roll the shoulder as high as you can get it. Take the hand. Drive with the palm of the hand. Heel of the palm. Out. And back in one more time. Up. And then right straight across the front. Great stretch for the upper back, but also for that thoracic spine, so that you don't lose the ability to rotate, so that you don't end up turning your whole body every time you want to look to the side. All you have to do is turn the upper half of your body so that the lower half is all pointed forward. You're over your base of support. Bring it down. Shake that out. Down deep. Shoulder blades back. Chest out. Coming up over the top. Sweep the arms up. As you're coming up to protect the back, you ring those shoulder blades up or back behind you, contract them together, and that helps bring the chest up, keeping you in neutral as you come up overhead. Deep breath in and exhale as you come back down again. All the air out of the lungs. Force it out. Roll the hips, arms up, shoulder blades back. Push through the flat of the foot, coming up overhead. Deep breath in. Stomach out. Exhale, bringing the arms down. And we're there. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you this week or next, whatever class you have next with me. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. You bet, Karen. Thank you. Have a good trip. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's that? Yes, I opened the door. She can come back out, or he can come back out again. Okay, Karen. Thanks. Well, all right, fellas, let's go. Yep. Got to keep it darker. Eleanor, you still there? Watching me work with my lighting. I do a class. I do all the work